Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Working Titles, the show that introduces you, the Bay Area, to some of your most promising young filmmakers. My name is Tony Cirimele, and I'll be your host this evening. My guest tonight is a writer, producer, director. His latest film, Waiting for the Waiting, is now playing at the Outer Sunset Film Festival. Please welcome Tim Emanuel. Tim, thank you for being here. Now let's start with the basics. What made you want to become a filmmaker?
I don't know. I just used to film my friends in high school, skateboarding and stuff. So I started there.
How the hell did I get here? I'm in a TV studio in Pacifica, California.
Yeah.
I'm in my good clothes, and I'm talking to this numbnut about his piece of crap film. And I gotta keep talking to this guy for the next 20 minutes. And this is public access, no commercials. It's the last time I take career advice from a reverend who got ordained on the internet. How did I get here? Well, to answer that, we're gonna have to go back a little bit. Eric, a little traveling music, please. Far out, beyond the East Bay, just south of our state capital, lies the magical town of Stockton, California.
Yeah!
Thank you. Founded in 1849 by German immigrant Charles Weber, Stockton was named for the naval Commodore Robert F. Stockton, who, in addition to being a major player in the conquest of California, was also known for sporting a pretty bitchin' pair of mutton chops. Seriously, Google that shit, it's awesome. Thanks to the gold rush, Stockton immediately became one of the busiest and largest cities in California. In 1999, Stockton was named an All-American City by the National Civics League. In 2004, we repeated that honor, one of the few cities to do so. And in 2011, Forbes magazine named Stockton the most miserable city in America. I can't be right. I mean, how accurate can this thing be? I mean, Forbes only based it on unemployment levels and crime rates and state income and house rates and weather, commute time, sports team performance. Wow, we suck. but Stockton's not all that bad. We got a lot going for us. We got the Hagen Museum and our annual Asparagus Festival. I never went, but I hear good things. We have the University of Pacific, UOP, which is kind of like going to an Ivy League school if you don't have any money or long-term aspirations. And some great movies were partially filmed in Stockton. Cool Hand Luke, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and when Rob Schneider was filming his movie Big Stan in our Stockton prison, he almost died from the heat. That's right, we were this close to killing that little bastard. But we've had a few famous residents. Chris Isaacs, the singer, he's from Stockton. Dave Brubeck, the jazz musician, also from Stockton. Trying to add a little culture to this thing. And perhaps our most famous resident was Janet Leigh, the actress, who, despite over 50 years in the business, is best known for the one scene in Psycho where she's hacked to death in the shower. Oh, spoiler alert, sorry. So say what you will about Stockton, but it's my hometown, and I'm proud of it. And hey, at least I'm not from Modesto, right? So I got this little theory I'm working on. Hear me out. I always feel that siblings are a lot like movie franchises. Stay with me. The first one is the breakthrough. There's nothing to compare it to, sky's the limit. And if it goes well, there's usually talks immediately for a second. The second, it's, there's a lot of build-up, a lot of hype, it's 50-50. It could break off, do its own thing, be completely different from the first. Or it could just be a complete carbon copy of the first. I mean, for every Empire Strikes Back and Godfather Part 2, there's Exorcist 2 and Blues Brothers 2000. But if that goes well, then you talk about the third one. Sometimes, not always. And the third one, expectations a little lower. But there's still hope. You could be Return of the Jedi, you could be Toy Story 3, or you could be The Godfather 3, the black sheep that no one wants to talk about. And then after that, fourth, fifth, it's kind of like the Fast and the Furious movies. I can never tell them apart. They're just all the same, really. This all being said, I am the third child, and for the record, I consider myself more of a Toy Story 3 on par with the other two, but that's another story for another time. Now, like I said, I'm the third child, and as any good psychologist will tell you, the third kid basically raises themselves. Now, in defense of my parents, they were raising three very different kids, and my two brothers were a handful, but I had three parents, Mom, Dad, and sweet blessed television. And I watched a lot of TV as a kid. I mean, you know, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, TV Land. I was like a sponge. I just absorbed everything. And when there wasn't anything on, I would peruse our video library. A lot of great stuff in there. There's one in particular that I always really enjoyed, watched it a lot. It was a video my parents had called The Best of the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I watched it a lot. And I was the only second grader who could quote Johnny Carson. I would go up to teachers and classmates at recess or lunch, and I'd say, well, it's Lincoln's birthday today, and every Lincoln's birthday I'm reminded of my old girlfriend back in Nebraska, Miss Gina Statutory. You've got yours, I got mine. Her name was Gina Statutory, and she went to Lincoln High, where she was voted Miss Lincoln, because every guy at school took a shot at her in the balcony. As soon as my parents found out about this, they put a stop to it. But then the breakthrough happened. I was 10 years old, and I saw Star Wars on the big screen. Now, granted, it was the special edition of Star Wars, but still, this was that magical time before the prequels. Anything could happen. They could have been good for all we knew. But me and my friends loved it. We'd get together every day. We'd watch all the movies, we'd play with the action figures, and we'd act out all the parts. And we all had our favorites. Everyone had that one character they wanted to be. Except for Luke. No one wanted to be Luke. I think we made the cat Luke. I wanted to be Han Solo. Confident, adventurous, a devil with the ladies. But my friends saw me more as C-3PO. Logical, cautious, slightly British. I did this instead of this. Anyway. I didn't realize at the time, but this kind of started my whole supporting actor career. That kind of show, don't worry. You know, and well, the first play I ever did, 5th grade, Cinderella, I was the page who introduced all the guests at the ball. Good part, not Prince Charming, but yeah, good part. But that's where it started for the last 14 years. I've been the supporting actor, the best friend, the co-worker, the next door neighbor. I've spent no more than 20 minutes on stage, much like tonight. But after 5th grade, the teacher who spearheaded the whole theater department in our grade school, she moved. So things kind of died down for a while. In fact, the only outlet I had to perform in grade school was the annual talent show, which was great. I'd go up there, I'd tell a few jokes. And 8th grade, me and my friend Mike, we did a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire parody. Oh, it was great. And that was back like when the show was on like 8 nights a week. You remember that? All over the place. And, you know, people liked it. But like any 8th grader, I had my critics. Hey, Cirimele. And he actually did talk like that, by the way. Hey, I saw the thing you did at the talent show. That was pretty gay, man. Ah, what a brilliant quip, my friend Josh. It's like I'm battling with Noel Coward himself. What? You're gay. Ah, you simply repeated your previous bomb. Well done, Joshua. Yeah, I was really popular in 8th grade. But thankfully, mercifully, 8th grade ended, and I went on to Lincoln High. But sadly, there was no Gina Statutory waiting for me when I got there. Though maybe that's a good thing. So, freshman year of high school, I still didn't quite know if I wanted to do the whole acting acting thing. I mean, I knew I liked to make people laugh, but what else was there? But still, I took an acting class, and I decided I would audition for whatever the first show was freshman year, whatever it was. Maybe it would be a comedy. I could do a comedy, that'd be fun, or maybe a musical. I could sing a little bit. The first show ended up being One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, my department did not dick around. But I auditioned. I was nervous as hell. I shook the entire time, and the director kept calling me Matt, but other than that, it went great. And I got cast. And not just like inmate number 2 or something like that. Billy Bibbit, you know, the kid with the stutter? Yeah. The Brad Dourif, the actor who played him in the movie, he got nominated for an Oscar for that part. And then disappeared off the face of the earth. But that's the part, it was good, it was good. And I remember exactly the emotions that I went through when I saw my name on that cast list. Shock, amazement, excitement, and then the emotion that would stay with me for the next 2 months, scared shitless. I'm in a high school play with seniors. And I can't be funny. I gotta be serious? Oh boy, this is gonna be tough. Now, my parents always supported me in acting, except once a week. Every Wednesday night, my parents would watch The West Wing. Never missed it. In fact, there was a very strict no talking policy in the Cirimele household when The West Wing was on. You needed something to get signed for homework or anything, you went in during a commercial break, in, on, boom, down, out. Now, The West Wing started at 9. My rehearsals got out at 9, and I didn't drive yet, which meant that one of my parents would have to go and pick me up and miss the first 20 minutes of the show. Now, I know what you're thinking. Couldn't they just tape the show? Remember, this is the early aughts. This is before TiVo. If you were to record something, you had to wait until the show was over to watch it. This was not an option for my parents. So, it was quite likely to see my dad in the parking lot of our high school in the car with this little portable TV trying to get any reception he could of the show. Hey Dad, don't talk, just hold. What's happening so far? CJ and Leo are walking down a hallway and they're talking really fast, and I don't, something about Saudi Arabia, does that don't talk, just hold. Oh, sorry. Commercial. That was rehearsal. You get up to bat? It's theater, Dad, not baseball. That doesn't answer my question. Yeah, I got up to bat, I even got on base. Good. So it went on like this for 2 months. West Wing rehearsals or the other way around. And then, opening night. Oh God, that opening night. Everyone was there, everyone. I'm pretty sure you were all there too. I think. I don't know. I'm no good with faces or names or people in general, but we get on, it's the last scene. It's Billy Bibbit's last scene. I go on, and I'm upstage, and I'm talking to someone who's directly downstage, so I can peek out of the audience and see who's in there. It's my first show, I didn't know any better. And I hear this sound from the audience. I look up, and it's sniffling, and people are crying. And I think, oh my God, I suck! Oh, God damn it, oh, my first show, my life is over, and I'm only 14! Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go back. I should just write a will right now. Who will get my Star Wars novelizations? I was just in the dressing room. I just didn't want to see anyone. I just wanted to disappear. And people kept saying, Tony, come on, people want to talk to you. They want to see you. No, they don't. And I go up there, and people started saying to me, hey, good job, way to go, great work. And I kept looking behind me. Maybe there was a better actor behind me. That happens a lot. One time a girl came up to me and said, hi, Tony. I said, hi. And then the guy behind me, whose name was also Tony, said hi. Only me. This only happens to me. But no, they were talking to me. They were talking about my performance. And I saw my parents. And I've never seen them more proud of me. And for months afterwards, they would talk about my performance. And every time, it would get a little bit bigger. Yeah, Tony was the lead in the play. Yeah, Tony was the lead and he directed it. Yeah, Tony was the lead and he directed it. And during the second act, this woman started choking. He gave her the Heimlich. The best one. was when my dad would say that watching my last scene in that show was like watching a Giants game. Bottom of the ninth, tie game, bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes. I did that? I did that. I didn't know where I was going at that point. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. But as far as the acting thing was concerned, well, I guess I better keep going. And then my professor was like, this is really good. You should like send it to film festivals and stuff. So I sent it to film festivals and stuff. I think we have time for just one more question. Now, Tim, what is, in your opinion, the greatest movie ever made? I always end my interviews with this question. The answer tells me everything I need to know about a person. If your answer is Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, you're a traditionalist with a taste for the classics. If your answer is Victoria de Siegel's The Bicycle Thief, you're a realist who understands the struggle of the working man. Best movie ever made is definitely Top Gun.